All right, welcome in everybody to another episode of Tucketeer Hogcast. I'm your host, Bones. Once again with us is Buck and Camo. We're having a little bit of a difficult time getting on Facebook Live. We have it all set up properly, but it's not on there.
Imagine that.
And I don't know why.
Facebook not cooperating.
Yeah, it shows that we are. So I'm going to be working on that, and y'all goobers talk about something.
Filibuster a little bit.
Filibuster a little bit for me.
Well,
I mean, obviously a disappointing loss Saturday. Not what we thought it was going to be.
We are snake bit in Dallas.
Yeah.
Snake bit in Dallas for sure. And it's like I said last week, but it was another close game. The trend continued of losing another close one, not only for the Hogs this season and into last season, but just in Dallas, period, at the Southwest Classic.
soon as I trusted them. I mean, as soon as I trusted them.
That's what they do, man.
Oh,
That's what they do.
every year.
And we all
It's the
three had a
same old-
win.
It's the same old, same old. I mean, another close one,
Yeah.
another heartbreaker. We could have
It
won.
sure
We
was.
should have won. But I'm tired of saying that, you know?
Well, your Bills and the Razorbacks lost. You had a bad weekend.
Bad weekend. Yeah.
Bad weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, them
there's
Bills.
always next week.
Them Buffalo
Unless you're
Bills
playing
sucked it
Tennessee.
up.
Well,
Tennessee this year.
right.
What?
What?
Caleb is not Calebing right now.
I told y'all to filibuster so I can figure this
How long
stuff
do you
out.
need?
I need to figure out why it's not.
Well, we'll take the time to thank our viewers. If you're watching us, we appreciate you.
For sure.
We've had a lot of our friends and people reach out over the last few weeks, and we really appreciate you watching. Family, friends, coworkers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you want to sponsor us, reach out to us, and we'll take all. We'll take all
for
this.
sure.
Are we
Take all-
sponsored right now?
We'll throw you some plugs.
No, we're not sponsored right now. We weren't able to make a deal work with I'm not going to mention their names, but the previous people who reached out to us. But I mean, we're technically are sponsored by Cambro Roofing and Construction and Seal Solar.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. We got two minor,
Yeah, I mean they have it.
under the table sponsors.
Well, I don't know what is going on with Facebook Live, but I'm going to quit messing with it so we can get this rocking and rolling. Yeah, Hogs lose. Another heartbreaking loss. Another 1 point or one score loss.
Well, you know what's
Uh,
frustrating? Again, just like in Oklahoma State, Bones and Buck, we beat them in every facet of the game. If you look at the box score, total yards, passing yards, first downs, time of possession, all of
After
those things. The only thing they beat us in was rushing, and that was by 34 yards.
After
Only
time and time
34 yards
again
more than
of
us.
that happening, who are you going to blame that on?
You can't blame it on just one.
Oh, well.
Bud's trying to put you in a corner.
I mean,
again, we ended the last episode that way, putting me in a corner.
I'm just
Now
saying.
you're starting off with
You got to blame it on somebody. You got to put the blame on somebody, whether
it's-
it's multiple people or one person. And
Well, I'll tell
the
you,
number one factor I see for us losing that game was our offensive line not being able to block,
I'll put this,
mainly in the passing game,
Yeah.
but a little bit in the running game as well, because they had a dominant, talented D
they
line
had a
and
good-
linebackers.
They had a good scheme against us. They've got a good front
With
seven.
our offensive, line coach, yeah, you got to put a little bit of blame on him, but also our head coach is supposed to be a quote unquote expert O-line coach, correct?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I was going to say this. I'm very
Some of the blame's
supportive.
got to go
I'm
on
very
him.
supportive
I mean,
about
at
Pittman.
some point,
I'm very supportive of Pittman. I'm
I am too.
optimistic about what he can do, and I'm not really.
He's a
ready
great
to
guy,
sign off on
great
him.
guy, quote unquote.
Well, and he's a good coach too. People want to play for him. People want to coach with him. Coaches want to coach.
He's a
under
raw
him
coach for sure.
because they enjoy the way he handles people, and just his demeanor, his positivity.
He's
I feel
Arkansas.
like he's a very
He's Arkansas
positive
for
coach,
sure.
and
Yep.
he's very Arkansas.
Yep.
Whatever that means, I hope the Arkansas fans out there know
I mean, yeah,
you know,
it's pretty
what that means. But
self-explanatory.
he just seems like Arkansas. But I'll say this: if any loss, which is it's 2, we're 3-2, like many teams right now in the SEC, just like Kentucky who beat Ole Miss, but they're sitting there at 3-2 as well. We just haven't had a marquee win yet, and I hope it's coming. Either it be LSU, Ole Miss. Ole Miss has already seen.
Well,
like they're
some satisfied
vulnerable.
fans are saying Auburn's probably that win that we have, but that ain't any good. I mean,
2 probable losses on our schedule, and that's Texas and Tennessee. The rest are winnable games if we play our best. But I'll go back to what I was saying about Sam Pittman. I think he would take more of this loss on his shoulders than any of them. And I say that because he took some risk with the fake field goal. In the punt worked out, but the fake field goal, not putting the
that was
starting
terrible.
not putting the starting defensive
That was
line
terrible.
at the end of the game. And then the offensive line.
Not
we
only the
didn't
fake
block
field
well.
goal, but wasting a timeout in order to do that. I mean, what were they thinking?
Maybe just they wanted the fresher guys in there,
Well,
but you can't have the
I mean,
fresher
that makes
guys in
no
there.
sense to me.
You
If
have
you're
to have the
going to
most
go for it,
talented
what was
guys
it?
in there.
Fourth and what? 4th and 2, 4th and 3.
I think
It was
it's
pretty
like-
short.
It was.
Sure, Michael.
It is now. I mean, it was 4th and obviously 4th and something. I don't think it was 4th and 1 or 2. I think we would have lined up
was
and went
short.
for it and on that short of the field
It might have
because
been
we took a
5.
penalty.
obviously we don't
It was
trust our
4th and
kicker.
3.
And
It was 4th and 3.
it was something
and we
pretty
backed us
short.
up 5, and it was 4th and 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my disappointing factor of the game is we only ran the ball 30 times and passed it 41 times.
How many yards did we have?
We had 146. We gained 146 on rushing, but we only netted 100. And then
So we
had 100 yards rushing.
168 passing.
So 300.
Or no, sorry, 279 passing
So
yards
300.
passing.
How many
68
attempts
total?
passing?
We had 41 passing attempts. 23 of those were completions.
I mean, we weren't getting.
50% of his completions.
A lot of
basically.
people are saying we
Close to it.
abandoned the run game, but I mean,
we did
there's a
abandon the run
there's
game.
a reason, though, that
Absolutely, we
we were
abandoned
getting
the run game.
manhandled up front. We were getting
JJ had 10
manhandled.
carries that he averaged 4 yards a carry. Every 3 carries is a first down. If you
He
keep
had a
feeding him
couple
the ball.
decent runs though out of that. I mean, a lot
Well,
of
he
those
would've
were
had more if you'd have
0
given-
or
given it
negative
to him.
plays.
You said he had a couple decent runs, a few decent runs. He would have had more if you'd have gave it to him. He
I
had
don't
10
know if you can
carries.
say that. Our line seemed to me it got
No,
worse throughout
Bobby-
the game.
Bobby abandoned the run. He completely abandoned the run in
Well-
a close game, which I don't know why you abandoned the run in a game you're in. I could see abandoning the run. If
He
you're
wasn't
down 2
trusting
scores,
the defense
2
probably,
touchdowns in
but
the 4th quarter, but not when you're up 17-14.
he also was
And-
trying
or
to
before
prove a
that
point.
even.
I mean, that's his. He coached there the year before. He was trying to come in there and prove his worth.
Yeah.
And I don't think he did, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
It was one of the worst coach
I think
games.
I think it was his worst coach.
I think the
game.
coaches would take more of this loss on.
I
than
would
some
agree.
of the
It's
others.
his worst coach game out of the 4 games we've had.
Yes.
Or 5 games
Yeah.
we've had. Yeah.
Well, I noticed since on our very first episode, I brought up that line judge that refed
Yeah.
the Arkansas UAPB game, Chris Snuggs and I noticed
Alabama.
He
yeah.
ref that game
he
again?
refed the Arkansas game. I saw him on the A&M sideline, and so I went to the stats as soon as I could whenever they were released, and sure enough, old Chris Snuggs was a line judge in that game,
Really?
and yeah, so I'm
And for the
Well,
viewers,
I'm
his
gonna
last
call-
name
Is
is
it you?
Snuggs.
Is it you? You're paying.
I'm gonna have to
You're
talk.
paying
It's
him
Chris
under the table.
Snuggs.
I'm
His
gonna have
name.
to talk to him because that's not what we agreed on the outcome of that game. Hit up my old
He did-
cousin, but
Jerry Jones wasn't paying the
He didn't
rest.
throw it like he was supposed
Yeah.
to.
but not only I think we've abandoned the run, but on the biggest question also on their A&M's last drive is why was our starting defensive line not on the field?
Yeah.
Why was Landon Jackson? He was that
And
which
the
was
most
having
important
his,
drive in the game,
that arguably was having his best game this season.
not on the field. Yeah, that
you know,
was my.
why was
my
he not on
question,
there?
too.
Maybe they seen something that we didn't see, like lack of effort or something. That
Lack of effort.
I mean,
He had 2 sacks.
right, but there might have been a few plays that
What
they
are
had
you
lack of
talking
effort
about?
that the coaches, might
I think there's more
Sniff
questions
out.
on the offensive line than the defensive line. So I think they'll be okay.
Right.
Maybe not
That's
against
kind of what I
Tennessee,
was
but through
saying.
the
Like,
year,
why
they'll be
not just
okay.
leave them in? And if you can't leave them in, why don't they have good enough stamina? Why can't we coach that up during the summer?
Well, we got tired in the double overtime Oklahoma State game. So you're kind of
you can't blame other games on being tired this game though.
I start
If
questioning.
you can't get up for this game, there's something wrong with you. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I'm.
Well, you can get up all you want, but if you don't have the conditioning to where you're prepared,
Well,
in the
that
fourth
again
quarter
goes back to the
be
coaching.
playing.
That again
That's what I'm
goes.
saying. This is
What's the most disappointing loss? Was it this one or was it Oklahoma
one.
State?
by
This
far.
one.
See, I
By
think
far, this one.
I'm saying Oklahoma State because
I
we
mean,
had the game won.
We had both games.
We
won.
had
We
No,
were up
we didn't
more
have
against
A&M.
Oklahoma State.
we
It
did not
looked
have this
better.
game won like we did against.
Okay, I
A&M.
say-
We had both
State.
games won.
We went into Oklahoma State thinking that we would probably lose. Thinking that we
Not
probably
me.
you had a win.
I had
there.
a win.
But I'm saying in Stillwater on a true road game, this is not technically a true
That's
road game.
why I'm
This
saying
a
this
neutral
is the
site.
most
Going into
disappointing
Oklahoma
loss.
State and
Right.
beating as number 16 team in the country at the time was to me a far ask for the Razorbacks. But
Yeah.
this one we actually expected to win. All three of us expected to win. We knew we were capable of beating A&M. We just come off a win from Auburn, and then we turn around and pretty much lay an egg in the second half,
Seems like every year.
and couldn't get the
Yeah,
win.
This
And it was a
game, every
very
year.
winnable football game. Very winnable football game. This one's way more frustrating than Oklahoma State.
Like we said last week, the A&M game has always been so. It's been a pivotal point in our season. The last few years.
A pivotal one.
Not a pivotal, but a pivotal. Pivotal.
Which
one.
word are you using? Pivotal or pivotable?
No, the
It's
game
definitely
itself
not
is not pivotable.
Both are words, right?
Both are words, but
He
pivotal.
proved that this week.
Right.
You
That
know,
might be
but I think we were
QB.
we just didn't execute on offense like we should have, and that we know we could. And just like every week, it's Taylon Green. I know he's getting rushed.
He's getting,
But-
every play, I swear I'm
but
looking
the-
at him.
but the
He's
picks
getting
not
rushed
every
out of the
play.
pocket.
He
It's
leaves
almost
too
every
soon.
play. He's getting
But
rushed
the-
out of the pocket.
But the interception
Or-
that he threw, he got rushed out of the pocket. But when he
He's
threw
getting
it,
happy feet
he
because he's
had
scared.
No one
Y'all
in
would be
front of him.
scared
He could have
too.
ran the ball.
Y'all would be
But
scared
he could have
too.
ran the ball instead of
You drop
instead of
back on
running,
that O line,
he throws
you'd be
into
scared
double
too, right?
coverage.
Camo, you'd be scared. I'd be scared.
I think there's
I'd be
times
terrified.
he bails early.
I would have to look back this way because I'd be thinking the whole time I'm getting
But
smeared.
I get that
But he
he's
wasn't
getting happy
looking
feet.
back when he
that
fumbled
he's
the ball
getting
at the end
happy
of the
feet
game.
in either throwing it or running out of the pocket.
I get
and making
that
a
he's getting
terrible
happy feet
decision.
for a reason, but there's a few times he bails early. He bails early.
What I'm saying is
he
you
thinks
can't
they're
blame
coming,
him.
but they're really not coming. We really get the block. Just take a step up, find a guy quick.
We
I
can't
feel
sit
like
here and
after
blame
his first read, if his first read ain't there, he's bailing and trying to run on.
I would do the same thing if I
Yeah.
was that, fast. I would do the same thing, and he's probably coached that way. I mean, he knows his offensive line's terrible.
I promise you, Bobby Petrino's not going, hey,
He's-
if your first read's not there, take off and run.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
I promise you.
I would
he's
have to
not.
go back to the Louisville days against, when he had Lamar Jackson back then, because I'm pretty sure he ran a lot.
Well, speaking of that, he reminds me a lot, obviously, of Lamar Jackson, but young Lamar Jackson. I went back and watched some Lamar Jackson highlights when he was at Louisville, and he made some really questionable throws when he was there and Bobby was his coach. I mean,
He ran a lot, though.
he
I mean,
ran
that
a
was
lot,
part of his whole thing.
right? But, so that kind of puts it for me.
And he was
a little
throwing
bit of-
against teams like Marshall. And
I
Ball
mean,
State,
you can
yeah.
say that,
And-
though, but the style of play is the same, though.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's just not going to work
not
in
the
this
the
league.
concept is the same, but
Not-
the competition is not.
not the speed,
That's-
not the speed,
that's
and not the
that's correct.
competition. Yeah.
Right, right.
So,
For
but,
sure.
I don't know if we're going to have Colts Corner this week or not. Colt, if you're out there, you're listening,
He's
go
probably
ahead and
crying
call
in his
in or something.
Cheerios. And
He said he wasn't
He
giving
texted me after the
opinions.
game, though.
He said
did.
he wasn't
texted me
giving
after the game.
his opinions, right?
No, but we had a text exchange after the game on Saturday. It was pretty.
I can
It's
only
very
imagine
fun.
Oh,
that
man.
didn't
No,
get
it
to
actually
you.
went well. We actually agreed on two things.
What? We suck?
No, we both said it would be the most Arkansas thing ever for us to beat Tennessee.
It would be.
You know?
It would be.
We lose this game.
Now, with
and
that,
turn
are
around
you
and beat
projecting to
Tennessee.
win this week, or?
We ain't
We're
there.
not there yet.
Come
We
on,
ain't there yet.
You're putting the the cart before the horse, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so I talked to Colt yesterday for a little bit, and told him obviously we were moving it to today, but I don't want to speak for him in case he does call in, but I think he's ready to move on from what we have. And
Well, I'll say this: if we lose this game, I'll be in favor. If we go to 3-3, which probably will, I'll be in favor with trying to do maybe a dual quarterback system that Bobby throws Singleton in, maybe in 3 or 4 series of the game, and see what he can do. Get him some experience, because
all I gotta say is name one great team that's ever done that.
I'm not trying to be great at this point.
I am.
Obviously, we're not great. We're 3-3.
We can still be great if we win out, right?
But hey, it's just.
I mean, that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, it can still happen.
It's like we said when we were playing Auburn.
It's a possibility.
You said I like our chances because when you
And
have
I got oceanfront property.
when you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback or whatever you said.
Yeah, if you've got 2 quarterbacks, it's the saying goes is you have no quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't have a quarterback good enough to go, he's our guy, we're putting him in there, and you're kind of seesawing on 2
There's got to be one leader on the team on the offense.
You obviously have
especially,
doubts
and it's
on
got to
both.
be the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, the
But we
greatest
do have
teams-
doubts on both. Singleton's young, and Taylon's been ineffective and
Let me ask this: Do you trust?
inconsistent.
Do you
But
trust
he's the
Singleton?
3rd leading passer in the SEC.
Do you trust Singleton
I don't know if I trust him because I haven't
against
seen
an
him.
SEC
I
defense? Do you
haven't
trust
seen him. I can't say that.
From what you've seen,
I
do
feel
you
like
trust
he's
him?
more-
You have
He's
to.
more accurate.
You're
than
Bobby
Taylor
Petrino
Green.
this week.
He can't run as well, but
Say the first 3 drives, they don't get a touchdown. We don't get no points. You put them
okay,
in.
here's the deal. We're already playing Green, right?
That's what I'm saying.
We go to 3-3. We've already been playing Taylor Green. Why not put Singleton in there for 2 series straight? Don't just put him in a series and yank him out like they did
Right.
against whoever they put him in when he was doing bad. What was it, Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State.
Okay, so why don't you put him in for 2 or 3 series straight, see what the dude can do? He's more accurate than Taylor. He may not can get out of the pocket and run like Taylor, but let's just see what he can do for 2 or 3 series. That way us fans and the coaches and the team can go, okay, we've seen what we need to see. I don't feel like 1 series is enough with him on the Oklahoma State to be able to make a determination what Single can and cannot do.
Yeah.
I'm not there every practice though, so I don't know what they're seeing in practice. And if it's not there in practice, then you can't put them in the game. If you're not seeing the talent in practice.
Yeah.
So it just depends on
Maybe Mississippi State. Maybe Mississippi State's a game you put Singleton in and really see what he can do with 5 games left. Because we'll at that point we'll have Texas, Ole Miss, La Tech, and Missouri left. We'd have 4 games left. That would be the 5th to last game.
So we talked
Mississippi
about it
State.
at the first episode, I'm pretty sure, on whether Sam Pittman is getting fired this year and what's the number he has to get to. So what is the number? Y'all both said 6, right? At the
He's got to be
beginning
bowl
episode.
eligible to keep his job. That's what I said.
Y'all still agreeing to that?
That's 3 more wins. I think we're going to get there. I feel like I'll hit that right on the number.
So 6 wins saves his job.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, and
I can't agree with
7
that.
and 6 with the bowl.
What
win.
did you say though? What did you say?
It's
He
got to be
said
7. It's got to be 7.
7 is the bowl game.
7 wins
7's the bowl
before the bowl game.
So you want to go, hey, what if he loses the bowl game and wins 7 but loses the bowl?
Put him in the corner there.
I say so. If he wins 7 and loses the bowl,
If he gets to the 7
it
number,
depends who leaves.
I would
It depends
rather-
who leaves. It just depends who leaves.
I would rather
Like-
win 6 games and win the bowl and go 7 and 6 than go 7 and 6.
I still
and
say
lose the bowl game.
7
You end up
regular
7 and
season
6,
games
or
is the only way
Either way.
he keeps his
If
job.
I was
6, he needs to be fired.
If I was on your side, I would say the bowl
5,
game,
he's definitely
the bowl
fired.
game
Right? We
doesn't
all agree
matter.
5 wins or
The bowl game
less.
doesn't
He's
matter
fired.
if you win or lose because bowl games they don't mean shit anymore. I mean, it's just for
And I love Sam
The
Pittman.
school
And
makes
don't get me
about
wrong for anyone
$1.5
out there
million
who thinks I'm a hater.
minimum.
it's just for fun.
I'm not a hater. I love the guy to death, but he's got to produce. I mean, it's the same crap every
It
year.
is.
It's the same crap.
That's why what I'm going to say about this game this week later is going to be really, I think, important to listen and grasp onto because I think it's a pretty big game for us this week. Not just because it's the primetime game, I think when they scheduled it, they were kind of hoping for a 4-1 and a
I think
4-0
Pittman's going to have to
matchup.
win one of these against Tennessee, Texas,
Was it
LSU.
Ole Miss or Missouri?
Ole Miss, or Missouri. He's
We're gonna
got
have
to
to-
win
I
at
would-
least
I would
one.
like to go
I
2-2 in those 4 games.
Maybe he might have to win 2 to save his
Definitely
job.
1-3. We got to go 1-3 in
At
those 4
least.
games. At
Well,
least.
At least.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know if y'all saw Greg McElroy at the
To get to bowl eligibility, we'll have to because
Little Rock
Mississippi State
Touchdown
and La
Club.
Tech is left
Yeah.
for
but
sure a
he
win,
said, you know,
almost.
Arkansas is going to
for
beat.
sure. Yeah.
He said Arkansas is going to beat a team that we're not supposed to, like a Tennessee or a
Yeah,
Ole
I
Miss or-
watched that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we're
But he
also
said
susceptible
somebody
to a La
sneak up.
Tech or a
Yeah, if we
Mississippi
play barely
State.
bad and they play really
Somewhat.
good, like a UAB.
That's what I'm saying. We could lose one of those games.
Yeah, we've
And
already
then
been
we're
shown
gonna-
UAB
yeah.
could have beat us very easily
Yeah.
if we didn't
Easily.
step it up.
Yeah.
exactly. So
Well, what's the high low to wrap this game up in Arlington? What is the high low of the game? What do you think is the number one thing we did really well, and what is the thing you think we did the worst?
I think really well we defended the run. I
It
mean,
seems-
they still had 134 yards rushing, but I think we defended the run really well. Most of that, it would have been under 100 if we stopped them on that last drive because they rushed for 60
So
plus.
you're playing into what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think the high would be this is the best special teams game we've played. We kicked that long field goal to go up 17-14, which was a really long field goal
We-
right through the middle. Ramsey rammed it through there, and then also with the
punt.
fake punt,
The fake
and,
punt and
we
the
covered
punt
good, and the punt
that
pinned
went
him out
at
at
the
the
one
half
at-
yard line.
At the 1 yard
So
line.
this was the best special teams game we played. Special teams going to be my high, and my low would be the offensive line.
Yeah.
If we would have played better on that offensive line, we would have definitely won
Completely
that football game.
So you were at the game. There was 61,000 folks there. Was it loud? Was it packed?
They said 80,000, but
Yeah.
I
The
probably
official
think it wasn't.
NCAA attendance is 60,928.
Okay. Well, it was very, very loud, but I will say by a small margin, there was more Arkansas fans than A&M fans. But on the
I
flip
watched it
side
on
of that,
TV.
A&M,
it seemed
you
like
can't go off TV because it's where the
I know
cameras-
It's
that.
so
I
hard
know
to
that.
tell.
It
at
really
that-
is,
at
but-
that stadium.
But Arlington,
it looked
or
like we had a
Arlington,
little bit more fans.
A&M was louder, but we had more fans.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, Hog fans? Get your ass on your feet and call the Hogs when you're at the game.
You calling them out over here?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
We need to. It's like when we're doing good, we'll get loud. But when it's just through the game,
Well-
it's like, okay, we'll sit down and chew on our nachos.
I'm
Be
gonna
loud.
go.
Be loud at the game.
I'm gonna be them.
We need to be the
I agree
12th
with
man.
you. I agree with you. But when you're seeing the same old shit every damn year, we're seeing the same crap.
Okay.
We
here's
we
the
have
kind
a chance
fans
of
I'm
win,
talking
and guess
to.
what?
But
Guess what? No,
but
I'm
listen.
loud. I'm just you know me.
I know
I'm
you're
loud. I'm just saying, like
You will pig for life, or you don't will pig at all.
That's right.
I woo pig every
Don't
time.
be
I'm just
woo
saying.
pigging when it's easy
For
and cool
those
to woo pig.
for those non-woo piggers out there,
Don't be woo
maybe
pigging when it's easy to woo pig.
maybe
Woo
when
pig
we're not
it's
doing
hard to
so
woo
good,
pig.
when we're not doing so good, maybe they don't want to woo pig.
I don't
You know,
think-
that's what.
Then get
Give
your
them a
ass at
break.
home.
Give them a break. We don't have a damn winning culture over here. We have Sam Pittman as our head coach. Sam
That's
Pittman.
no reason not to woo pig.
It's not, but look at the last 5 years. What's our best year? 9 wins. 9 wins in a bowl game that 6 of the starters was out on each team. Not even meaning crap against Penn State. That's our best year.
9-4. That's almost a double digit win season.
Right.
You know, and one of those 4 losses was like a 3-point loss to Alabama or something. Like we could have very easily won 10 games that year and would have been the first
That-
10-win season since Petrino.
Wasn't that our only win against A&M in the last 12 years that year?
No, not in the
Si-
last 12 years.
Yeah,
since
it
they
was.
joined-
Oh, in the last 12
Well,
years.
10
It was.
years since they joined the SEC.
Definitely
Or,
Sam Pittman's
12
only
years, sorry, because they joined in
But
2012.
they said this, we were going for our
only win
fifth
against Missouri too
ever
in the past.
against
Sam
Arlington
Pittman's career.
at
For
the
Yeah.
sure.
Southwest Class.
Yeah,
They
'cause-
were going for like their
We beat them
ninth.
2 or 3 years in a row with Bobby.
What I'm saying is,
And-
like, I mean, the fans that ain't, woo pig all the time, like, obviously we are, then maybe they want to see something special to cheer about. And that they're seeing all this crap, the same crap every year. We can't put it together.
I get that, but A&M hasn't. I mean, they haven't had the best thing, either. Last year they were Jimbo Fisher. But I promise you, even last year, if you
They
were
have
at the
the
game,
talent to cheer
you
for
would
them.
say that A&M's fans were louder than Arkansas fans. And I'm tired of going to the games in a
Do
neutral
you
site
think we were a better football
than
team?
being louder than us.
Do you think we're a better football team?
Then what?
A&M.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we're
Yes,
a better
I
football
think-
team.
look
than
at the
Coaching
numbers.
and everything together.
Yes.
Coaching, all the way around.
Absolutely.
I think we're a better football
We were
team.
the better football
But we
team.
lost the
Saturday.
game.
I think we matched up.
We beat them in every,
Well,
box
we
score.
shot
but-
ourselves.
Who's
we
the
keep shooting
blame?
ourselves in the
So
foot.
you're getting to my point. Who's to blame from here?
You're getting 5 or 6 motion
The offensive
penalties
line,
before the
Pittman.
ball snapped. I mean, it's
Offensive line,
Who's the
Pittman and Taylor
main-
Green.
Main
That's the
person.
three-
You have to put it on one person.
no.
Who's
You
the
don't
main
put
per-
it on one person.
Santa Claus.
I mean, it's
No. One person's not out there
Santa Claus.
making the schemes. You got to, as a quarterback, you got to know how to line up against them.
What's Sam
You gotta know
Pittman's
what to audible
expertise?
into.
What's our worst point of the football team?
Yes, we know what point you're trying to make.
I
You're trying
mean,
to make
come
last
on.
week, but it's not one person. It's not Sam Pittman.
You
I
would
there
think
are-
he's
there are
known for
things
2
he
weeks
has
now
to-
for sure.
he
2 weeks
has
for
to
sure.
fix.
The O line is terrible. He's got to
Better
make an
than last year,
adjustment
but they are-
somewhere.
they're still terrible.
I've not seen any improvement.
But
Any.
what
Well,
do you
we
say
are
about the
missing our
cornerback
number
missing
one
the tackle on the
lineman.
long pass, the first touchdown they scored? The cornerback missed the tackle. If he makes that
I'm
tackle,
not-
they may not score. You can't blame the loss on one. Now you can put the spotlight on the O line, saying that they may have more questions than any position on the field.
If our O line blocked
But
better
it's
that
not
game,
just the
we
offensive
would
line's
have won.
fault.
We would have won, right? Y'all both agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they would have played better, because everybody else played decent enough, but they still made mistakes, But if I had to give more of the fault of the loss to any position on the field, it would be the offensive line.
For sure.
Whatever, how you're going to break the
Yeah.
percentages
I mean,
down and fall.
I think A&M exposed us more than any other team and gave our other future opponents, including Tennessee, the best game footage and film on the study on how to beat us.
And this is what's cool.
And
This banter back and forth, this open dialogue about the Hogs. Do you not think the coaches do this? They sit around the table, they open a Coors Light, and they'll go, "Hey, T. Will," and I'm Bobby. I'm talking from Bobby's perspective. T. Will, if you were going and scheming a defense against my offense and against our personnel, how would you attack?
They did that all summer.
And then Bobby would obviously go, "Okay, well, against our defense, I'd do A, B, C, X, Y, Z," and then that way it kind of gives you an idea of what these other coaches probably on the other sidelines are trying to do.
yeah.
Then you try to counter that kind of stuff, and of course we've got analytics and they're a lot smarter than you and I, but if that they have to be doing that,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I mean you're probably right, and I'm sure they are. And like Buck said, we're not obviously no one's in the film room and in the coaches room, but no one's at practice either. I mean they're all closed practices. We don't know what's going on, so you got to think. Hopefully they are seeing the
Mabel
right stuff,
Singleton just had a really good outing, that first game.
but
and you're thinking he's a lot better than he is.
But also,
But he's not that
our
out.
backs are in the corner now, so we're not going to practice Singleton with this. I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't. You got to practice now. If you haven't already, you got to practice now with who's going to put you in the best situation to win the game. And right now, I think it still is Taylor Green.
Okay, but
And so you
you're
gotta
still
prac-
taking snaps.
You got to
He gets
practice.
40%, 65, 70, and then Singleton gets 30, and then the third
I would
string
be
quarterback gets
surprised.
10% of the
I
snaps.
would
in
be
practice.
surprised if number 2 QB is getting
with our
30
O line,
30%
time
of
out.
the
With our
snaps in practice.
time
I
out.
would be
Let's think though.
extremely
Let's think though.
surprised.
With our old line play, with the escapability of Green, because he's getting out of the pocket every time, whether he makes a good decision or not.
Yeah.
Probably not, but you know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
Can Singleton get out of the pocket like that?
That's why I
our
said
O line
I
plays
think-
terrible.
He's still.
Can you put him in
He's
there?
the best
No,
But
person
No.
for us to.
No.
As far as winning the game, we have to play him.
we have to play Green.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's a have to.
Joe Flacco. It's just like Tom Brady. It's just like guys that are statues back there. They may have not had the best.
We
offensive line,
started
but
out.
they
We
get it
started
out
out
of their.
against A&M,
They get it out of their hand quick. and
passing
they're
the short
accurate with
passes.
the football.
passing the short
started
passes.
with
A&M
against
made the
A&M. No,
adjustments.
we started with a 75-yard bomb to Isaac Tesla. We didn't.
Well, besides that play, that one play, the whole first half was a bunch of short dumps, screens, little drag routes, little out routes, and it was short and dump in
We
all
did
the
run more
first half.
screens.
Besides
the
that
first
one
time.
play, it was all
Finally.
maybe a couple shots, but they didn't work other than the test leg. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
there's
but,
a reason for that because their O-line is terrible.
but you know,
But they picked up on it.
It's the quarterback holding it too long and bailing too early, and then it's the offensive line. It's not just they didn't block their guy. Taylor's running for his life all the time. Now it may be 60-70%.
I'm not
of the
saying
time.
that's
But sometimes
the whole
Taylor-
problem.
There was 3 times I know because I was at the game and it happened to be on my end of the field because I was in the corner that he felt pressure. We blocked it up.
He's got happy
enough,
feet.
well enough to hold it for another second or two and get out of your hands. But instead, he bails off to the right.
But
The right tackle tried to hold his block, but the guy seen it, the defensive end seen that he was running out to the right, so he left his block and went and chased him down. Basically, and had to throw
that
it
goes
away.
back to what I was saying earlier. If you were the quarterback, knowing the offensive line is terrible,
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, terrible.
Terrible.
I mean, come on. Would you stay in the pocket and not have happy feet? Because I would be bailing every chance I get.
Tyler Wilson did. Tyler Wilson
he-
stepped in there
he
and took
took some-
shot after shot after shot after
Tyler
shot
Wilson
and
was
delivered the
the
I'm just
football.
saying.
Toughest
I'm just
quarterback
saying. You can't blame a guy for bailing because the offensive line is terrible.
Not saying
You're
I blame
not
him
blocking
being
for him,
nervous
and he's watching his backside, and I would be too if I was the
Well,
quarterback.
he's
I would be
unconfident.
too.
and he is, getting happy feet. But Tyler Wilson, the difference between Taylor Green and Tyler Wilson is Tyler Wilson stood up there and delivered the football. Taylor Green's
Yeah.
bailing out and being inaccurate.
Yeah, he is. I mean, just
You laughing? What did I say? Did I say Traylon again?
I
No.
don't think so.
I thought I said Taylor.
Well, let's go ahead and get to our Woo Pig Cueies tonight.
Oh, yeah?
So cue up the music and let's get it going.
I got a couple serious ones and a couple funny ones might make y'all like, what? That's a question.
I would not expect anything less.
I mean, that's, it's me asking the questions over here. So, number one, we'll start out with an Arkansas question. Which Arkansas player has the most kick return yards in a single season? Felix Jones, A. B. Dennis Johnson, C. Cedric Washington, D. Lance Ray.
Dennis Johnson,
Dennis Johnson. B. Dennis
Y'all are
Johnson.
both correct. Dennis Johnson holds number one
Dude,
and
was
number two
that dude was
spots,
a
2009
stud.
and
He was a
2008, with 1,000 yards.
He had
And,
a couple.
I think there was
900
one year he took 3 to the house.
He had 1 year. He had for sure like 100-yard.
So with
Return.
this week's
first
matchup,
play of the season.
this week's
Yeah, Little
matchup
Rock.
coming up, Tennessee and Arkansas. So with this matchup in mind, when was the first matchup of Arkansas and Tennessee, and who won the game? Was it A, 1922, 9-6 Vols, 1971, 14-13 Vols, 1907, 14-2 Vols, or D, 1966, 10-0 Hogs?
I'll go B again.
Can you go through just the years? Don't do the
1922 is A 1922, B 1971, C 1907, D 1966.
I'm gonna go. Shoot, and we haven't played him that often. I'm gonna go 1966. What year?
What'd you say?
I
Whatever.
said B, 1971, I think.
It was 1907.
First
in the
time we ever
game-
played him.
The game was played in Little Rock, and Tennessee won 14-2, and it was an unknown stadium. So I thought that was weird.
Unknown stadium.
Unknown stadium. Yeah.
Played out in a
I
cornfield.
don't probably 1907. All right, number 3.
Golly.
Which of the following statements is true? A. Arkansas was the host of the first tug of war national open championships. B. Until 1991, soccer was illegal in Mississippi. C. Basketball was actually invented by a woman in Virginia.
This is already weird.
D. Tobacco spitting is actually an amateur sport invented in Kentucky.
I'm gonna go that one.
I'm going to go D too.
Crazy.
No, it's B. Until 1991, soccer was illegal
In Mississippi.
in Mississippi.
Until what year?
1991, And the reason
That
was
just sounded
because
absurd.
they said football,
he made
quote
that one
unquote,
up.
football, soccer was a European culture gateway drug.
Wow.
You're not very forward thinking down there in Mississippi.
1991. I mean, you were born then. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4. How many days, if any, a year is there no professional sports played? NBA, NHL, NFL, NBA, MLB,
Okay.
all of them. A1, B5, C7, D2.
How many years
How many days,
or how many days?
if any, a year? How many days a year is there no professional sports played?
Go to the options again.
A1, B5, C7, D2.
I think I'm going to go C7.
I'm going to go B5.
It's D, 2 days out of 365 a year feature no professional sports, and that is the day before and the day after the MLB All-Star break.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Here's a
Makes
even
sense.
stupider question. Cool. Kite flying.
Wait, time out. This is the last one.
This is
right?
the last
And
one,
we're
number 5.
We're tied.
We're 1-1.
Y'all both
All
got
right.
the same question right. Yeah. All right. Kite flying is a professional sport in which country? I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to y'all weeks
And I
back.
just got to remember the
You gotta
answer.
remember. I told you I was going to bring it up. A, Norway. B, Switzerland. C, Thailand. D, Poland.
I'm going to go Norway.
I'm going to say Switzerland.
It is C, Thailand.
God.
I told y'all this weeks ago.
You had me with
You
the
could
Norway
probably tell.
because-
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's why I put it in
God.
there. I knew you
That
would
is
guess that.
Bullcrap.
It's the only professional, and the object of the game is to cut down or knock the other opponent's kite down out of there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Well, that's cool.
Well, cool.
I need to go to Thailand.
You know what's in Thailand?
what's that?
Never mind.
Kites.
Apparently.
What?
The damn kites.
We're waiting on an answer here.
Well, I was going to say something, and it's very inappropriate, and so I'm not going to say it.
Oh, you're talking about the capital.
Well, yeah, but it's. I was going to go like a couple steps further than that. So, all right, back to this. So, I do have a question. Obviously, we're talking about where we could be, where we should be, and where we are.
We could be 5-0, guys.
So what do you
very
think-
easily be 5-0?
Yeah. So that's
That's
leading me into
what's
my
so
question
frustrating.
is, what do you think? Everyone's asking Sam about Sam Pittman, asking him what he's thinking. How does he feel about him being on the hot seat? What do you think Hunter Yurachek is thinking? What do you think's going through his
He's
mind
feeling the
day
pressure.
in and day out?
He's feeling the pressure. He hears this.
Oh, yeah.
He knows. I think there's a number in his head, and I'm hoping it's an agreement with me and
Here's
7
what I
wins.
want to say.
If it's with 6 wins, then we're gonna have the same old shit next year.
You know how many games
I
I've
mean,
been to?
Same old crap.
this year or
I've been to 3 games.
okay?
Okay. And I'm not calling y'all out. I'm calling the Razorback
But
Nation out.
you tell
I'm calling Razorback Nation out. You want to sit there, and I guarantee you half the fans on Facebook that want to go haven't bought a Razorback
I
shirt,
hear you. I hear
hasn't
you.
bought a ticket, but they want to go, oh, this needs to happen and that needs to happen.
They want to see a certain
full of
product
crap.
on the
Yeah.
field.
Buy a ticket and go to the game.
They're wanting to
First.
see a certain product on the field, and the product produce. Is the product producing on the field?
Well, you can
How
wish
good
it
have
on
we
hand
played at
and
home?
You know what?
How
Neither.
great have we played at home lately?
Yeah, not very good.
Not very great.
We'll play better if you buy a ticket, show up, cheer on the
Will
Hogs, and go
we? Will
whoop
we?
big.
Or will we get our ass kicked by 40?
Well, we might, but at
that's
least you
what-
tried and did
that's
your
what I'm
part as a
saying.
fan.
I mean,
At least you did your part as a fan, and you tried and you showed up.
I'm
And you
just-
said "woo pig" a few times.
I'm just saying the mediocre, the general fan wants to go and see a good product on the field.
And I'll say this, I do
So they're
trust-
fair weather fans. If we're doing good, I'll buy a ticket. But if we suck, I'll sit here and gripe at home.
I'm just saying there's a lot of fans out there.
That's
like
what
that.
you're saying, basically. I'll sit here and gripe at home and get on Facebook, get on my soapbox from my couch, and tell them what they need to be doing when they're the coaches and they're the players, and there's nobody more
Happens
upset
all over
and
the
pissed
world.
off than they are that they lost the game.
Yeah.
Every
Well,
team probably has
but
the
you gotta-
same fans. So.
And you got to think, I'm kind of in line with what Buck's saying is we're paying for a product on the field, and the product ain't really good right now.
It's not showing
And
up
so-
for us.
But I'm going to the game this week against Tennessee, and I bought upper level tickets, 4 of them, and it was damn near $500.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
it's
this
100.
type of
It's a
marquee
$120,
game,
and
I mean, it
bought
wouldn't have been
but
against
we
UAB,
bought them
but-
before we even beat
But-
Auburn. I mean, so we bought.
If he
these
goes up
tickets
there
after
this week and
lost
say
to
we lose
Oklahoma
by
State.
40 points, he doesn't think so. But say we did, how
Okay.
great would he feel coming back?
So is he going for the great
Spending that
experience of
money.
being on the hill, being with friends, and having a good time, whether we win or lose?
he's going
still
for
gonna enjoy
both. He's going
himself.
for both.
He's still going to
He's
enjoy
going for both.
himself, right?
You can't tell me he's not wanting to go up there and get
Well,
a win.
of course he wants to see
That's
the
what I'm
Hawks
saying.
win. But he's not going to be like, well, I wish I wouldn't have bought that ticket because I had no fun now because they lost. I went to Dallas. I had a great time. Went
If
to
you
the
get your ass
Stockyards,
whooped, you would say
Went
that.
to the Ring of Honor restaurant
Yeah.
where the Cowboys have. Enjoyed it. Of course, I was sitting there going the whole time, I hope the Hogs win Saturday.
Well, it just depends
But
on your
it
money
didn't-
situation too. I mean,
No, I'm
if you
just
save
saying,
up all
you
year
don't
to go
have
to
do
one
all that.
game and they go and get their ass whooped by 35, you ain't gonna want to go
Well,
back.
that's why you play the
I-
game,
I
but
feel
you're
like
not
I've-
guaranteed to win any
I mean,
game.
it just depends on your money situation.
But I feel
That's
like
what it
I
boils
I have
down
a-
to.
I feel like I'm having an
I
epiphany
mean-
here because you keep mentioning 40 and 35. And,
I mean-
and what we talked about before we started. I think you've got us a damn blowout
I-
loss this week.
I have a feeling it's gonna.
and
We're
you're
either
wrong.
gonna really show up or we're not gonna
It's-
show up.
No,
a damn
it's not both.
bit.
It's not both.
It's
you can't
one of
have
the two.
both feelings. I want to know
We're gonna
what you're
gonna
feeling.
have a dang close game, or it's gonna be a blowout.
You can
and-
say that about every game. I want to know what
That's
you're
what
No, but-
Arkansas's
I
born
want to
with.
know what
but
you're
that's what
genuinely
Arkansas-
feeling right now.
Next
though.
time
So
we
we're
play
going
a
on to
game-
the. Okay, you want to
next
start
time we
that?
play a
Okay,
game.
let's go
All right,
into it.
let's
What
go
are you
into it.
feeling? How?
Tennessee has the most dominant talent that we've played this year so far. We're playing them at home. We haven't played very good at home. Bobby Petrino, you think if he had something up his sleeve, he would have pulled it out
We play
last
better at
week?
night there. We play better at night there.
He would have pulled it out last week, right? I mean, that was his last job, A&M. He didn't. We
I
lost,
think he
right?
did. He did pull out more stuff. We saw a lot more screens.
Our O-line is terrible. Terrible. Unless we get 200 plus yards rushing, we are going to lose this game. And do I think we're going to get that?
Which is why
Absolutely
we can't
not.
abandon the run.
We're going to abandon it because we're going to get down
I think
so much
last week
early.
was a learning
And
lesson.
I'm a Hogs fan, and don't get me wrong. I hope they win, and I hope they prove me wrong.
What
That's
if
a
we
nice-
get-
But I think they're going to start out killing us, and that's going to put us trying to pass the
What if
ball.
we get up 21-7 on them?
I'm going to freak out.
I want
that
you
we're
to
gonna,
text me when we do. And be like, I
Oh,
was
you
wrong.
know what I'm going
I
to be.
pounded the desk, said we're going to be down by 21 in the
Anyway,
first 10 minutes.
With
but we're
the
not.
talent difference, and I see their defense. Their defense is great. Their offense has its great moments. It's mostly great. I just don't think we have it. We might have the coaching to keep up with them, but the talent, not even close. So I think we're going to lose this game 42-24.
But is UAB
22-24. That's
but
two.
okay,
42-24 is
let me
my
flip
final
this
score.
for you. You're saying this, and it all sounds great because it makes perfect sense, and you're right. But let's go this flip side of it. Was UAB better coached and a better talent-wise on stars of recruits and recruiting ranks than we were? But did they have a chance to beat the Hogs? Yes.
That
So
proves my point
sometimes
even worse.
No, let me
That was a
finish.
home
Let
game.
me finish. Let me finish. You had your fives.
Okay.
Sometimes in football, the lesser team wins because a team that's not as talented.
You're
won't
acting
play
like
as
I'm
well.
saying we don't have a chance over here.
You're-
We have a chance.
That's what you've been talking
But
about.
what-
I'll say.
I
You
mean-
said we're going to get blown out the second I
I
walked through
do
the
believe
door.
that. I believe we're going to get blown out. But would it surprise me if we show up and actually win the game? Probably a little bit. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is
You're talking in circles.
they have more talent than we do, and that's going to show up on Saturday.
Okay, well that's a
There-
okay.
there's no
that's an
arguing that.
easy thing to say.
They've got more talent than us.
I mean,
no doubt about it. No question about it.
Appalachian State beating Michigan had way less talent. but
We
they
had a
found a way to
talk
win the
earlier.
football game.
do we have more talent than Oklahoma State?
Yes.
We lost that game. Do we have more talent than A&M?
Yes.
Yes, y'all both believe that. We lost that game.
Okay, so Tennessee
Who has more talent now?
but they could lose the game.
They could, but we're Arkansas. and we have Sam Pittman as our head coach.
Okay.
We're going to do the same crap this week, whether we lose by 3 or whether we lose by 33. We're going to lose the game.
You realize like 90% of teams can
Guaranteed.
say what you're saying about their
We're
team.
losing
Unless
this game.
you're a Georgia or an Ohio State.
Can
or
I
a
say something?
Michigan.
The last game was our.
Quit hitting the table because my mic is falling. This piece of shit boom arm is broke and it's on the
My fault.
table.
My fault.
Don't mess with it because it's gonna. Don't do it. You're gonna mess it up.
The last game was the pivotal point, if it's pivotal or pivotable point of our season. And we lost it in terrible fashion. I don't even know how we lost that game. I'm still
So I want to
upset.
get your thoughts on this week, and before I say what I want to say.
Oh, gosh. I think we'll just break it down in 3 things. Obviously, the defense is going to have to play the absolute, even though they've done well all year, and
They've kept us in all
it's
the
a
games.
really
Yeah.
highlight of our season so far. As we've all bragged about the defense and how well they've done. So I think our defense is going to have to continue that trend and even jump it up another level and play with the tenacity that we have not played with until at a home and night game in Fayetteville.
Prime
when
time.
everybody's being loud, be
ABC,
loud,
Chris Fowler, Herb Street, Holly Rowe, they're all
Yes.
going to be there.
and woo pig the heck out
There's
of your
one
boys.
thing for
I
certain.
want everybody at the game to be hoarse on Sunday. Make it a point.
We're
Be
gonna
like,
have
okay,
to
I'm
win
gonna
the
do
I
turnover.
plan on being
Okay.
a horse. I'd be
Be
a horse
horse on
every time I
Sunday.
go up there.
Okay.
We're gonna have to win the turnover battle. Like,
Okay,
I
yeah.
have to.
So that was one. Defense is going to have to play with the biggest tenacity,
Yeah.
tackle better, play the best game of their life on Saturday. Our O-line, I don't know if we're going to have to put a fullback in and put somebody right behind the center
I
and
think
block
so.
for our quarterback.
Whether we
Either it plays to the right or it plays to the left, put a fullback in. Haas is hurt anyway. We're not throwing to him, so might as well take Haas out and put a fullback in.
and what is he had
And
like
help
2
the line
receptions all
block
season?
so we can get the ball out of our hands in 3, 2, 1 at
Yeah,
least, and not 1, 2 or 1.5
Yeah.
count.
Yeah.
That's number 2. And 3, I'm going to say Taylon Green is going to have to complete more than 50% of his passes like he's trended the last. He's going to have a mark of 70% completion rating.
That goes back to the O line though. I mean,
Not all the-
We got a really
Okay,
good
let's
chance
put
at
it
that
this way,
happening.
bud.
he can't
Let's put it
throw
this way.
that.
Let's
he
say
can't
the
throw
O-line-
that. He can't throw that.
Let's say
without
the O-line blocks their ass off on Saturday, but Taylon Green misses 8 passes.
I'd be very surprised.
I'm just saying, let's say the O-line plays the game of their life, and there's a shell around him, and he's got a clear pocket, and he misses 8 of the throws. Are you going to blame that on the offensive line still? Or are you going to say, like you did 2 weeks ago, now it's offensive line. 2 weeks ago, he was inaccurate.
I'm just
And
saying,
you mentioned
most
his
of the passes
inaccuracy
I'm seeing him drop
every
back
week.
on, he's dropping back and having a second, maybe a second and a half to get the ball out. And if not, he's having to roll out.
But
He has to, or he's going to be sacked.
But he's missed throws on the run. And
Well,
that's
I
supposed
mean-
to be what he's good at.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's wanting to stay in the pocket. What did Sam Pittman say at the beginning of the year? He said that Taylon Green can run, but he's a pocket passer, right? That's what he said.
He's not a pocket passer.
That's what he said, though. That's what Sam Pittman
That's
said.
like saying
before
Lamar
the first
Jackson
game.
is a pocket passer. They're not. They'd rather
I'm not
run
agreeing.
or run
I'm just saying
throwing
that's
on
what
the
he
run.
said. That's what he said. So if we can block for him, let's see what he can do, but we can't. So therefore, he's always on the run. So we're never
Well,
going to
hopefully
know.
they've got some.
We've got Wes on YouTube saying, "Win or lose Saturday, we still booze." Amen to that, Wes. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh yeah, the O line is straight doo doo, just like them Bills."
Oh man! Hey, the
Had a
Bills
bet
are
for
the Bills are
shares.
3-1.
Let me just
what
tell
is
you
his
one
team?
thing.
What is his team? The Raiders.
Yeah, he's a Raiders
The
fan.
Raiders.
What's the
Speaking
record?
of the
What's the
Raiders,
record?
Let me just tell you this: you're not getting Devontae Adams from the Raiders.
I
He's
never.
not going to be in Buffalo.
I
He
wish
never
you would
said
have,
that.
but
He texted
No, he's not. He said
I can't believe y'all
That's a
bringing
lie.
it up.
he
I just
said-
got y'all riled up.
He said he's going to go to the best team with the best quarterback, and I said that. Well, that sure. I said sure he's going to the Chiefs
Yeah, right.
because he sure as hell ain't in that statement. He ain't going to the
He's not going to
Bills.
the Bills.
So what's the options for him? Y'all
I
mentioned.
think he said the
Chargers,
Saints.
Cowboys. No, at first it looked like it was emerging as
Saints and Jets.
Saints and Jets, and then what I saw today was Chargers, Ravens, Steelers, or Cowboys.
Jerry needs to Jerry like he's never jerried before.
I'm just saying the Cowboys got to do something.
Come
'cause
on,
they're,
Jerry, go get Devontae
trash.
Adams.
The Raiders.
They can't,
Trash.
they can't guard CeeDee Lamb and Devontae.
Wes is like, yeah, but the Raiders beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
They did.
They
They
did.
did. That's
So-
funny.
so-
The
And
NFL
Minshew-
is so weird this year, though.
Minshew, I'm a fan of Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew. He's a winner. I love that dude.
The
Yeah.
Saints beat the crap
Right now,
out
he's
of
not a winner, but
the
he
Saints beat the
technically-
crap out
he's
of the
normally is.
Cowboys, and then the Saints lost to the Raiders or the Ravens too, right?
Mm,
The
yeah,
Yeah. Saints
Yeah.
lost to the Ravens.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barely, but yeah.
Yeah.
Two or 3 points.
Right.
Well, I'll give you my take on it, and before I get into there, shout out to Scott, another guy that's going to be at the game that are going to the game with us, but he's a Tennessee fan. He's from Tennessee, so he's going to be in the ugly orange in the midst of we're sitting in the
He wears
section
he wears the Tennessee shirt quite a bit,
quite a bit,
or one of
He's-
the other.
Is he
ones.
calling in?
He's a big
I
Tennessee
don't know
fan.
if he's.
I
gonna
thought
call
you
in or
said
not.
he's calling in.
I don't know he could if he's watching, but
He's scared.
What's up, Scott?
yeah, if you're watching, Scott, can't wait to hang out with you, brother.
Yeah.
But he called me
One of
today.
the coolest dudes around, but he's still Rocky Top. Let's
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
he called me
He don't want to
today,
call him
and
with
he
3 wood
said-
pigs.
He said, I'll give you something for your cast tonight. And he said, you can talk about it or you can, but he gave us his thoughts as a Tennessee fan of what it's going to take for the Hogs to win, and that's win the turnover battle, like you said, or maybe you said it,
said that.
and then
We
Taylor
have
Green. Of course, our O-line, the obvious is the O-line, but then Taylor Green's got to be extremely accurate, and he's going to have to, he's going to have
If we're
to
going to pull off the
pa-
victory,
pass the
we
ball
have to win
good.
the turnover battle, and we have to have more rushing yards
But what he-
than them.
Yeah.
Those
What
are
he
two
did
things
say-
that has to happen.
What he did say, though, is this is going to be the best defense that Tennessee has seen all year. And he thinks our defensive line is as good as any in the SEC. And our secondary,
We're inconsistent.
we're-
I think we struggle at tackling at times, but guarding and covering our man and manning up because we man up
What
quite a bit with
areas
T.
of-
Will, rolling the dice. Our
I think he needs
secondary is
to
pretty
roll.
solid.
I think he needs to roll the dice.
And we're playing
a little
without
bit more.
Jalen Braxton.
We're
too, our
not
number one
blitzing
corner.
enough.
I
I
know.
don't think.
What
We need to
areas are
blitz
we
just a little bit
inconsistent on defense? What
Rushing the passer. That's the main thing. The
we're
last
not-
game we did a
haven't
decent
shown
job.
a lot of
We did.
blitzes.
Oklahoma State, we
haven't.
did terrible.
Yeah, no,
Every other game
we
we
haven't
did
come
terrible.
with a lot of those schemes where we're showing blitz and then don't bring it. But so that those were his takeaways.
Our run defense is great, and I hope
Yeah,
that
it's
continues.
pretty darn good.
But
Well,
we
that's why he's saying-
gotta find a way
That's
to
why
get
he's
more
saying our
pressure.
D line is really good because of
Inconsistent though.
our
Yeah.
rushing.
Well,
Yeah.
I was trying to see how much against Auburn. I don't remember the stats that for rushing that they had. So Auburn had 146 yards rushing. So I mean we're keeping
They had
it-
134 last week.
yeah
A&M. So I mean,
against Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, A&M.
A&M.
Yeah.
it was 134. So we're keeping
I thought
it
you
right
meant
in there.
Auburn.
And that's you got to think the 134 is between like the quarterback, 2 other backs, maybe even 3. So it's not like one guy's getting a lot, big chunks and stuff. So throughout the game, 134 is not that bad. I think that's decent, but it'd be nice to really, stuff the run
Yeah.
and pick this guy off.
So
2
y'all
or 3
heard
times.
my
Well,
score prediction. What's y'all's score prediction?
Well, yeah, you never said a score, so
Oh.
give your score,
Well,
Camo.
Buck kept distracting me. Okay, I'm seeing what I wrote down to see if it changes. Actually, it's not too much difference what I had in my head. I'm going to say 42-24 Tennessee.
Okay.
That's exactly what I just said.
Did you say 42-24?
Yeah.
yeah, he
Okay,
did.
well, I didn't even realize
So,
you said that. Well, what I have written down, I'll just go with what I have written down because I don't want to be the same as you, Buck.
So all
You're
that
gonna be wrong.
optimism over there, you have the same score prediction as me.
No, I changed it when I had in my head, but look what
That's
I have
almost a
written down.
3-touchdown
I have
loss.
41-27 in my book that I wrote down 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
I've got 41-27. I'll go with 41-27. That's actually more points for the Hogs. I'll say 41-27.
Well, I'll give
It's
since
still
we're on
terrible.
scores. I'll give
That's
you
2-score game. That's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll give
3
you
score.
my score, and which is so funny. We're all very, very close together. Mine's 42-28 balls.
Oh, my
Tennessee.
gosh.
And I wrote that down before the season started.
I
So
really hope
Are
they
you
show up.
sticking with it or are
I'm
you
gonna,
changing it
I'm
up?
going to stick with it just because I don't think they're going to win by more than 2 touchdowns. I don't think they're going to beat us like you said they could.
You said
by
we're going to lose by
40
40.
when he.
I said
before
we
started.
wait. No.
You said we
You,
could.
you heard my
Are
score
you
prediction.
crawfishing?
You
You
heard
said we
my.
could.
You heard my.
Crawfishing.
Time out. Let me talk. You heard my score prediction, right? I don't think we're going to lose by 40. I'm just saying we can very
Well, you lose
easily.
any game by 40.
Very easily,
But we're
because
not
that's
going
just
to.
Arkansas. We're not going to show up, and Tennessee's going to blow us out 45 to freaking 9 or whatever. I mean, it's
I
very.
don't think
It's
Ramsey can
very.
make 3 field goals. We're going to have to get a safety. We're going to have to get a
What if
safety.
he has 7 opportunities because we can't ever
He
drive
probably
further
knocks
than
down
that?
3 of 7, as long as they're from 40 yards and in.
Oh,
But
gosh.
you know, so that's
What
my
if
score,
that's
40,
a touchdown
42,
and a
28.
missed extra point and then a field goal?
But let me ask you
that
this.
could happen.
Let me ask you this before before y'all chime in. It's kind of like a 2-3 part question.
Okay.
Is this a must-win game? Okay, that's the first question. And if so,
Must win game in regards of what?
For the team or
for the
Pittman?
team. Okay, that's where I'm going. Just listen.
Okay.
Is it a must-win game for Pittman, for the team? Because if we lose, is it time to fire Sam Pittman? And if we lose, and if we don't fire Sam Pittman, no matter that, if we do
I'll
or
say
don't,
this.
listen.
Okay.
If we do or don't, are we going to lose the team then? Is it to the point of no return? We've got 3 losses. We're
Who
not
do
going
you
to.
want to answer this first?
I don't care.
I'll go ahead. Sam Pittman, if he loses his game, that's not his job. But he's going to have to win one of the next 2 games for his job, I think. And what was your other part of the question?
Is for the players? Is it a must-win game?
For the belief in Sam Pittman, I think if we don't win this game, we're not winning the next game. I don't think that's a
The LSU game?
yeah. I don't think we're going to win that. The
So
players
we
are
have
going
to beat Tennessee in order to beat LSU.
I think so. Just by
Why?
a player belief standpoint, if we lose, it just depends. It also depends how we lose this game. If it's a close game, then maybe not. But if it's a blowout, the players are going to stop believing in the coaching
Okay.
like altogether.
If you're a prideful man, which all of them are, they're all men on the team, rather than maybe the sporting trainers and stuff.
That's
If you're a
this
prideful
game.
man,
That's
I
this
don't
game.
care. I was a part of some really bad Greenbrier Panther losing seasons, but there was never a time that I went out there and left out of the locker room with my buddies and the people I play. And this is just high school ball. So you're playing at the next level. If you lose to Tennessee, you ought to get ticked off and go, you know what? We lost
It's
that
a
one.
lot different.
Next week
though.
we're coming out. We're going to jump on them, and we're going to.
You're bringing out the
beat our
aspect.
biggest
You're
ass.
bringing
Beat
out
our
the
biggest
aspect
problem.
of
You
Well,
got to.
biggest
If you're
problem.
not coming out of the locker room
You're-
with that attitude, you need to get off the
I
team
think
right now.
there's a main
before you
difference you're
even play
missing.
Tennessee.
You're missing the main difference, and that's money. That's a big difference nowadays. Now, if you're a great player like Green and think you can be a star at the next level, which I don't think you will be, but if you're thinking that, then you're going to want to, protect yourself, right? And if we lose this game by a lot, are you going to want to go out and bust your ass for the next game? That speaks in every position.
If you're a high character, highly motivated athlete that wants to do good for your family, remember the name on the front,
right.
is
Today's
better than the
different
name
though.
on the back. They're both important.
You can't
You know,
disagree.
but-
today's
But
Players
for your
don't-
family, for your coaches,
But
for your
players don't
friends.
play for the name on the
That's
front anymore.
exactly.
They play for the name on the
Okay,
back.
well then
Exactly.
anything, take pride in something. I don't care who you're playing for. Get pissed off and give it your best shot. Whoever,
they're playing for
whatever's
money.
your
I think our
motivation.
They're
defense
playing for
does.
money.
Even if you're playing for money, play for your motivation. It'll get you more money next year.
Well,
But what I'll say,
what if they
If
don't
you're
want to
playing
get
for
hurt?
money,
my rebuttal to
whatever
you,
motivates your ass, get out there and do it your best.
my rebuttal to you, Buck, is I don't think if we lose this game, it carries into the LSU game, and we've lost the team because I think players, yes, they might not have.
It's
that
going to
much-
carry over a little bit.
They might not have much faith in Sam Pittman, but they're the defense. I tell you one thing, they're not going to quit on T. Will. There, no way, no how,
No. But
because
let me
they didn't
let-
quit on Barry Odom.
Yeah.
You know, or who, and then
But I didn't get to answer your deal.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, real quick. Is this a must win? Absolutely not. We had this probably chalked up as fans as a loss before the season ever started. And for the players, yeah, I want them to go out there and bust their butt and come up with a big win that's improbable. But if it don't happen, I think you go on and roll on the next week. We're at 500. Let's win out. Let's as a team mentality, you lose to Tennessee, you could still have that mentality. Go, hey, let's win out. Let's go 9-3. That's got to be your goal. And that's what Pittman needs to be telling. That's what Bobby needs to. Hey, yeah, we're 3-3, but guess what? What if we come together and we win out and when we're 9-3 and win the bowl game and be 10-3? Until you get to a point where probably maybe lose to LSU and be 3-4 and have Mississippi State, which that's probably going to be a win. Then you're back at 500.
You can't deny the fact that if
You're at
we
4-4 going into the Ole Miss game.
if we
If you pull out the Ole Miss win like Kentucky did, and you're 5-4, and you've got Texas next, say you maybe pull that one out, and then you got La Tech in Missouri, you're looking at a very bright season that flips into where everybody's all down in the dumps and Debbie Downers, and then it turns into a great season. But it can also turn, just like Buck, you're saying, we could lose these next two games, barely beat Mississippi or Mississippi State, lose to Ole Miss, lose to Texas, barely beat La Tech, lose to Missouri, be 5-7, and the season be a huge disappointment. We're not bowl eligible. Sam gets fired. Could it happen that way? Absolutely. It could happen that way very, very easily. But I also say that we could also go 8-4 still. We could also,
Which is my record.
we could
that I
also
have.
go 8-4 still. It's up to the guys on the hill that's practicing. It's up to them. They've got the capability of doing it. We should be 5-0, Buck. We should be 5-0.
I'm
So
just saying.
do I say we can have the capability
we
of
have
still
the
finishing
talent.
8-4?
I agree.
Yes, we do.
We have the talent.
Probably
to do
7-5,
so. We
but-
have the talent to do so.
So let me ask you
But
this, Buck. You said, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying that if we lose this week, you think they're going to be more motivated to go into LSU, or if we have a huge win, 3-point win, 6-point win, whatever it is, a huge win
Obviously,
this week.
they're going to be more motivated.
Are we going to
with
be
a
more
win.
I would feel
motivated
like our
and
backs
feel
against the
okay,
wall.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would feel like my back's against
It's
the
gonna
wall,
be,
and we're trying to prove.
It already
Really,
is.
you got doubters? You
They-
doubt me? Let me prove it
Like
to
you said,
Let
we
me
could
prove you
be
wrong.
5-0, but we're not because we've had huge disappointments.
And let that be
And
even more
that's in their
motivation.
minds though.
Okay.
So if it comes down to another close game, I think we're going to mess
Okay.
up in the fourth quarter.
It's you can
when
it's about
adversity
how-
strikes,
I was
a
going-
champion always
I was
responds
going there.
in a positive
I was going
way.
there.
Is Sam
If
Pittman the champion?
adversity
Respond to
strikes, it's
adversity.
about how you respond to adversity. Are you going to let that motivate you, or are you going to let it disappoint you and
Is Sam
get
Pittman-
you all down in the
Is Sam
dumps?
Pittman the
It's
champion?
up to you guys.
Is
It's
Sam
up to you
Pittman the
guys.
champion?
Is Sam Pittman what?
A champion?
He wants to be.
Is he?
A champion of what?
Anything?
There's one team that wins the championship every year, Buck. So 216 teams
I'm
aren't
just
the
saying.
champion. There's
is
one
he-
team that is the
he?
champion.
Is he? Has he came close?
I mean, he's had a really good season here, 9-4. I mean, he's not the champion. Everything you could say he's a champion of the Golden Boot that year and the Southwest Classic in
I'm
the
just saying
rivalry
we got to have a change.
game.
I mean, if we lose this week,
Or Battle on
we got
Rivalry.
to.
So what are you
So-
saying? We fire Sam Pittman and go hire Urban Meyer or Nick Saban?
I
or
mean, I'm
find
not
someone who's
saying
won a
we
championship?
obviously can't make those hires, but we got to make
But it's not a champion.
we got to take
what
a
I'm saying.
chance.
It's an inner
We're going
champion.
nowhere with Sam, are we?
I'm getting
Are we going
all
anywhere with Sam
philosophical.
Pittman?
That's what I was saying to you earlier.
Are we
is
going anywhere with Sam Pittman?
This is not a dream job. This is not the Arkansas
It can
Razorback
be.
football. No,
But
It
when
can
I,
be.
When I say
It-
that, I'm
yeah,
talking about an
it
inner
could
We have
be.
Walmart and Tyson backing us. It can be.
It can be, but have we been since 1960 freaking 4? No, Buck. You're wanting something to happen that hadn't happened for 50 something odd years, almost 60.
Who was the team that made the national championship game last year? Washington?
Washington, Michigan.
Is that a dream job?
I feel like
Is that a dream job?
They had
Washington?
Is that a dream
easier-
job? Answer the question.
It's probably more attractive
Before
than
last year.
regular
Before
right now.
last year.
Before
Before
last
last
year,
year and
no.
the year before.
No. Before last year, no.
Hell no. Not even close. That's what I'm saying. If they can get there, we can too.
No. But-
Yes, we can.
What's
Yes,
the
we can.
But
Yes, we can.
I mean, he keeps talking. You want somebody to respond, well, then you got to stop at some point. Their competition is not the SEC. Arkansas plays 8 ranked teams out of 12. Washington has never even, not one season ever in the history of their football program, ever played 8 top 25 teams in a season. So their path to get to the championship status is way easier path
100%.
than what Arkansas has to take to pull it off.
100%.
So
Does-
you
does-
can't say
Okay, now
you're
time out.
comparing
I'm about
apples
to
and orangutans.
completely derail your argument. Missouri, do they have more resources than Arkansas?
No.
Yeah, okay.
is
What are they
resource?
ranked?
That,
What are they ranked?
they're not a championship team. They've never won a
What's their football team ranked right now?
We've been ranked
Ninth.
before.
That's what I'm.
Something
That's what
like
I'm
that.
saying,
I
and
don't
it's
know
been.
for
It was.
sure,
It was
but
in the top 10 last year as
ninth.
well. Right. Okay, we can get there. Can we not?
We could because we've done it.
Consistency though.
We haven't
Is
done it
Sam Pittman him?
consistently, No.
No, he's not. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's pretty consistent at losing.
He's finished
Losing
Losing games.
He's finished at
That was a softball. Sorry.
okay. In 4 years, he's not done with his 5th year. This year don't count. In 4 years, how many times has he finished in the top 20?
My argument's
Finished.
over.
One time. One time. So 25% of the time, he's finished in the top 20. Okay.
That's not
What
going to
was-
make it though in the SEC.
What was
That's just
we
not gonna make
what
it.
was we ranked the next year
You sign
when
up
we
for
went
the job.
7 and 6 in the SEC?
You sign
was
up
like-
for the job.
43rd.
Yeah, we weren't ranked in the.
No,
top
we weren't
25.
ranked. I'm just saying, as we finished, the finished rankings of each year, his
probably
best one was
42nd. Yeah.
20, 43, probably 60, 70,
Yeah.
and then down from there on the 3 and 8 season.
I want to ask my other parts to my original question.
Pills suck.
Yeah.
What is it?
So Wes is saying Bill suck. I said that, but Wes is saying Tennessee wins by 3. He's got a good feeling. I think this is Wes for sure first game up on the hill, so I'm excited
Wes,
to go up there with
Hope
him.
you
And
love it, brother.
and
It's going to be
it's
awesome.
gonna
Oh,
be
he's
loud.
gonna love it because
it's going to be loud. It's
And
gonna,
if you
it's gonna
go
be
with
rocking. We're
Scott,
strapping out the
And
stadium.
if you go with Scott West and start doing Rocky Top,
No, hey Wes ain't going to do no.
I'm not
Rocky
drinking
Top.
any more of your homemade wine.
That's Scott's.
or his peanut
Oh,
butter,
was it Scott?
peanut butter
Oh,
whiskey,
oh,
right?
I thought it was
Peanut
Scott's
butter
the
whiskey.
homemade wine.
Okay, well, never mind. No,
But-
your peanut butter whiskey. Then.
Yeah.
Uh,
I got it reversed.
All right, so let me ask you this: So after the game last week against A&M, you said fire Pittman. You were screaming fire Pittman. You were saying it when we got here, fire Pittman. I know you're kind of using it as
If we don't win this
as a
week,
tactic to get a conversation going, but I think there's some truth behind what you say, and I think that's where you're going. I think you're there. I don't think you want to admit that you're there, but I think mentally, I think you're there. So let me ask you this. If we get blown out, or let me figure out how I want to ask this question. If we get blown out, is that going to put you more toward being public about it, saying, yes, fire his
I'm
ass,
already public about it.
or is it going to be if we lose another 1-score game? Which one is going to make you feel more strongly about firing Sam? Is it the close loss again, or is it a blowout loss? Because either way you chalk it up, we don't want to
It's the
see either
same.
one.
Honestly,
We don't want to
honestly,
see
I can't
either
lean
one.
any way towards that. Both are terrible. We're getting
Exactly.
our ass handed to us, or we're having another close loss like we do every
Both are bad.
single game. We
But-
think we're going to win, and we
Both
think we
are
have
terrible.
a huge.
Both is not
Both
terrible.
is-
What are y'all smoking?
We
Both is not terrible.
Yeah, both
competed
is terrible.
against
At this
Tennessee.
How
point, both is terrible.
Both is terrible at this
It's,
point.
it's chalk it up
Yes.
as another
What world do you
one.
live in?
I would
It's chalked up
honestly,
as another one score
I
loss
would
for Sam
rather
Pittman.
just
It's
have
gonna
100% because a close game is going to get guys and fans like this guy over here saying Sam
Okay.
Pittman is still the savior. No, a
I've
close.
never said
So
that.
let me
I've never said
reframe
that.
your question, Bones, over here. I hope if I had to pick one that would happen, I would want to get blown out just so we have a direction of saying fire somebody. Because if it's a close game, then we're going to be sitting here next week with Camo saying, oh, he still deserves his job. No, he doesn't. It's the same crap
What was
every
your score?
week.
42, what? 42-21?
42-24.
Okay.
What
Is that a
real
blowout?
Hog
Is that a
fan?
blowout?
It just depends
A
how it
two-score
happens.
game-
Do we
a two-score game
do
is
we
not a
score?
blowout.
Do it? It's a three-score.
It's a
game.
three-score
Okay,
game.
my score 41-27, which is not far from yours. You're a
That's-
field goal
that's a
different than
My,
me.
mine's
It's still a
40
three-score
mine's
game.
42-28 to two
So
touchdown
three
game.
score-
It
game is a
depends.
blowout.
Two
Do we have a
touchdown
touchdown late, or did they have a touchdown late? I mean, it
It's
depends
not
on
about how you
No,
Oh
it
my
definitely
God,
It's
depends.
about how you win.
It
like,
depends.
oh my
It definitely
God.
depends. If we have a trash touchdown late, then yeah, it's a blowout. But if they have a trash touchdown late, then it's a close game. It just depends on that score. I mean, that's so close.
The blowout determines on the final score. Doesn't matter when it happens.
It definitely matters. You have trash
You play
points in
40
football.
minutes for a
Just-
reason.
You have trash points in basketball
Okay,
too.
so if you're saying they get up 42-0 at halftime, and we come out and make it 42 to
17.
they don't score another game, another point, 42-24. Where do you go? Where do you go from here?
If you win in basketball by 20,
my score, my
and they scored
predicted
10 points in the
score,
last two
I'll
minutes-
just say this.
2
I'll
minutes.
make it definitive. No matter how we get to that 42-24 final score, fire Pittman.
Okay, what if it's 28-24 and we lose by 4?
I mean,
What I'm trying to do is make y'all really think about it and
I
say,
think
is this a
I'm just
must-win
going to
game?
say this: a loss,
Oh,
fire
well,
Pittman.
I'm saying it's definitely not a must win. I think of any 2 games left on the schedule, Texas and Tennessee, most Hog fans are going to be like, yeah, we're probably not going to win that
If
one.
we get blown
But
out,
the other games, if y'all are thinking we could win if we play well, y'all need to root for another team. That's the only 2 for sure probable losses we have left.
it's not about
Ole
rooting
Miss
for
has
other
proved to be
teams.
vulnerable against Kentucky. Missouri almost lost to Vandy. LSU almost lost to South Carolina and got lucky to pull that one out. Those 3 teams are
It's
very
about
vulnerable,
having
and we can
something
play well
to root for.
and win.
It's about having something to root for. Do we have something to root for right now?
Well, I think
A
if you
little
think
bit,
like
barely,
me-
barely.
If you
If
think
we get
like
our
me,
ass
no.
kicked this week,
You're about to
are
say,
you going to want to come
no,
back and
but he
root
said a little bit.
a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit? And it
Buck, you
depends on
started
these
with a little
next
bit to root for. At
these-
the beginning of the
these
year, before
two-
the season ever
these
started.
2 games. These next 2 games depend. Probably make Pittman's season on whether he's fired.
I've
or
got
not.
one question for Buck before we get kicked. Because is this a linen shirt? Is this linen?
I don't know.
I like that shirt. That's a nice shirt.
Don't ever wear that again.
Okay, so you're saying
You don't like it?
time
No,
out.
it's all
Listen,
right.
we're an hour and 15 in. I don't care about time. Y'all say we need to stick to an hour. I don't give a shit about it. I don't think we're bound by any time because guess what? People can listen to us. They don't have to watch us. But
We'll get better with cutting these whatever good takes we have and,
yeah,
and put them on
put them
there.
up, whatever. But
That's
it's-
something we've talked about. So we grab the best 2 to 4 minutes. Let's make it
yeah,
half a
is
bit of sense.
he going to do it? Is G going to do it?
I didn't ask him, but yeah, he
Because I can't do it. I mean, I guess
anybody y'all
anyone.
any of y'all know how to
But so
cut
you're
things
saying
like
it's
that.
not. You're saying it's not a must-win game.
absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Because
I
of-
would
yeah.
say if we lose this game, then that heightens the importance of the LSU game, which I don't mind because we always seem to, doesn't matter if we throw 3 blind mice out there, we seem to play LSU
good,
very well.
close.
So
No matter
I'm
what,
not freaking out if we lose to Tennessee. Yeah, I do. I want to be 500 midway through the season. No, I'd like to have a winning record, of course, as a Razorback fan, but it's not a must win. It heightens the importance of the LSU game. I think if we win, obviously with Tennessee, then everybody's going, holy crap, we just beat them. And now we know we can, if we can beat them, we know we can beat LSU. And it makes us probably fall down on our face again. Because I'll say this, if we beat Tennessee, we will not beat LSU. But if we lose to Tennessee, we probably will beat LSU. because we're going to be so beat up and
We're
be so
we're already
high,
beat up.
so beat up and so high and giving it all we got against Tennessee. We're not going to
No.
have time to get up for LSU, heal up, get fresh again to play another really, really tough game
Yeah.
against LSU.
No way.
Well, I
But I will say
I
this.
try to
I
ask
think we
myself
win one
that.
or two of these games. I'll go out on a Razorback loving limb like I did. a
So
few
obviously, you have a
episodes ago.
loss this week. You think it's going to
I-
be?
well, he
think
said
we'll-
it, but
Yeah, I think lost this week, and
I've got it. Well, next week
yeah,
is next week, but I don't have a
Yeah,
win.
I've gotta
I'll say I
start-
don't have a win next week.
I've got a loss next week, but I'm going to change my deal next week. But stay tuned. to
At
it.
least you're honest.
So what you're
At
saying
least
is,
you're
if we
honest.
win, you're going to keep the loss, but if we lose, you're going to change it to a W.
Yes,
That's what you said.
pretty much. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
and I might change my mind and call us a win next week if we beat Tennessee, but probably not.
when I wrote this question down, I really wanted to reflect on it too, and see, would I rather? I asked myself that same question: would I rather us lose by 4 or 8 or less, or would I rather us get blown out?
Is
just
it another
the-
night game against LSU again? At home again?
It is going to be a night game.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
got 2 night games in a row, 2 weeks in a row in favor.
Yeah, it
We're
says
winning one of those
It
games,
says
boys.
either six
We're
or
winning
eight.
one of those games.
6
Mark
or
my
8
words.
start.
Put it on
Uh,
your refrigerator. Camo from
Mark the
Tusketeers
tape.
Podcast.
No
Mark the
way.
tape. Says we're winning one of 2 of these games.
I hope you're right.
But I asked myself the same question. I said, would I rather us lose by 1 score or less, or get blown out? And I'm going to go the truly heartbreaking, where it's going to give me so much hope during the game, is I want to lose. I'd rather lose by 1 score or less, and be
and be
sitting
cheering the
here
whole time on the
and
third
be
of your
cheering the
seat.
whole time
Yes,
and-
absolutely.
and be in the game,
That's
be
the way I was
involved.
on
And say
Saturday.
we played the
I was
number
like, we
4
could
team
still win
close.
this 2 minutes in
Yeah.
until he fumbled, and it was that strip sack.
Yeah.
Say
Until
we
then,
get blown
I
out.
was in the game.
49-7.
Couldn't
Either
pull it
one of
out.
y'all going to be calling for us, Ed?
They were who we thought. they were.
49-7.
49.
We let them off the hook.
We lose 49-7.
49-7.
You gonna be calling
there's
for his
more
head?
issues than just Sam Pittman, because
Right, but you gotta fire somebody at some point. You know what I mean?
my take on it is, if we lose this game,
Mid-season.
if we lose this game, we're not going to
we're
fire
not
Pittman.
firing anybody to
We're
the end of
not-
the year.
we're
I'm
not
telling you that
gonna
right now. Put that on your refrigerator too.
You don't think
Yurichik is not
if we
firing
haven't won
anybody
it? Time
mid-season.
out. Fall. If we haven't won a game, what's our last game? Missouri? Is that our
Yeah,
last
that's our
game?
last game.
If we haven't won a game before that game, you don't think they're going to fire Sam
Okay.
Pittman
Oh, if
before
we
that?
if we
When-
drop
when would we
Tennessee,
get
drop
dro-
LSU, and
Even
drop,
lose Louisiana Tech and
it's-
all that.
he sure
In
as hell
order for
going
us
to
to
get fired
not
if we
be-
drop Mississippi
But do the
State.
math.
Yeah, for
Do the
sure.
math. In order for us to not become bowl eligible, we would have to wait until the third to last. We've already won 3 games. To become bowl eligible, there's 3 more games. So we would have to get to after the 9th game and have 10,
You act
11,
like
12
bowls
left
mean something.
for him to fire him. Okay?
Bowls don't mean nothing.
And I'm telling you, if he's waited that long to not fire him, he's going to let the last 3 games of the season play out, and then he'd fire him at the end of the year.
Here's my scenario of if he gets fired, or
We've already won 3 games.
if your check decides to fire him, this is what happens. We lose to Tennessee, we lose to LSU, and I mean, then we got Mississippi State, and if we lose that game, he better be fired. That's all I got to say.
We're
that's
not
what-
losing to Mississippi State.
I don't think so either, and I really hope I'm
And
wrong
if
about
we do,
LSU.
if we do, I would be on board for firing Pitt.
But I'm saying
That's a game you can't give up.
We drop these
That's
next
a that's a
three,
no forgiveness game.
he's out. He's
That's
out.
a no for. Or Mississippi State should not win an SEC
And
game.
if
A
he-
lot of people
if
had
he
the
does-
A&M game as a no forgiveness game, and we
They're
lost
in the
that.
top 25. How do you
It
have a
doesn't
no
matter.
forgiveness game?
Our record against them is terrible.
It doesn't matter. You
And the
can't go
way
there.
we've
Hey,
lost
beat this
every
top
single
25
year
team, or you're
is,
getting fired.
has been so
You can't-
heartbreaking.
You
A
can't go
lot
there
of
like
lot
that.
of fans. Come on, Caleb. A lot of fans have had us. If we don't win this game, they're giving up on Sam Pittman.
because the
and I'm
fans
one of those.
getting what they
I've
want.
gave up.
What
I'm
they
giving
want.
up. I'm
But
giving up.
That's a lot to ask of a football team going, hey, go into Jerrysville and beat this top 25 team, or everybody's going to just call you.
I hope
you
he
know,
proves me
losers.
wrong, but I'm giving up.
But you would be okay. Let me ask you this: that's week 1. My outcome of the season was 8-4.
I'm still going to cheer and watch
Listen,
every game.
was
I just wanna make
8-4.
that clear.
If we go 8-4, are you still on the bus of firing him?
No.
Okay, so there's
7
still,
wins is
there's
what I
still
said.
a
He
chance.
has to get 7
There's still a chance for you to change
for
your
sure.
mind
But
on Pitt
but in
this
my heart,
season.
I'm giving up on him. I think it's over. I think we're going to win 6 games this year, and I think it's going to be that. And if we don't fire him after 6 wins, we're doing something wrong up top. I mean,
So if we go 7-6 and win the bowl game, go 6-6 regular season,
fire him.
win the bowl
It
game,
doesn't.
we're
Those,
going to fire him after the bowl game.
does that bowl game
We're
mean
gonna-
a damn
What
thing?
about you won a bowl game, you finish with a winning record, you're
Camo,
fired.
does that bowl
No, I
game
don't think that's
win
gonna happen.
a freaking thing?
I just
Does it
I don't
mean
think
a-
that would happen.
It doesn't mean anything.
If you're saying
It's
that
year
what should
5.
happen, I'm saying
That
that's
bowl
not going to happen.
game
And that'd be
doesn't mean
tough
a
because
dang
this
thing.
year it'd be if not, it's year
Doesn't.
5. It's going into year 6 and something.
What is that going to be?
Man, something's
The
gotta give.
dang toilet.
I say go into
the
year
toilet
2.
paper bowl. I
After
mean,
finishing
torn.
7
I'm very torn.
After finishing 7-6 and win your bowl game and going into year 2 with Bobby as
It does
The-
take 2 years
for something to actually come to fruition.
on a Bobby Petrino offense. It's going to take you at least
What
a
did
good
Bobby do his first
2
year
years
with
of-
Casey Dick?
Yeah, it's going to be
We
2
we
years
went
to learn
7-6,
his style of offense.
or excuse me, 6-7. Didn't even
But with the portal and everything else, you're not going to have the same players.
crap
So
out
it's going to be the
You're-
tacos
but
for
the next
life
year was
bowl.
really good.
I mean, what is this bowl game going to be? Winning 6 games? It's going to be nothing.
the Music
It
City
doesn't
Bowl, the
mean
Liberty Bowl,
anything.
just like we did in 2020.
Doesn't
See?
mean a dang thing
no, I don't think bowl games mean anything either. But
unless
Other than
you're in the
other than
playoffs.
W
I
in the
tell you
win
one
column.
thing: I'd rather say we went
It
to a bowl
doesn't
game
even
than
mean
not.
anything there.
I'd rather say we went to one than not. I'd say that, even though it
Absolutely.
don't
I mean,
mean
that
anything.
obviously means more wins.
And it gives
so
the fans a
obviously,
chance
but-
to go to a town, with their friends, with their family, hang out, go out on the town, go to the ball game. We get a million
I hear
and a half or more on lower tier
I hear
bowl
Memphis
games.
is nice this time. Of year.
I'm just saying, bowl games used to mean a lot more than they do nowadays. That's for sure.
100%.
Well, I mean, that's
100%.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I still think they're not just teetotal pointless and irrelevant like you're saying. I'm not saying that their importance hasn't went down
Yeah.
a scotch,
A lot.
but they're not completely irrelevant because if they were,
The reason it's gone down a lot is mostly for the fact that the starters of both teams, at least 4, 5, 6 of them are going to be sitting out, right? They ain't going to play in that game. They don't want to get hurt.
of
Yeah.
the B team coming in, stepping up, and then you get to see what you're going to have coming back.
No,
next
because
year.
they're all going to
That's what I'm
transfer.
saying.
They're
It's
gonna
not as
transfer.
important.
guaranteed.
No one
They're
wants to
gonna
watch
transfer.
that crap.
They're all going to transfer.
Not if we
We had 55
Keep 'em.
transfer portal players this
not if
year.
we keep them.
Well,
We got to make it.
we're playing
Kind of
gotta
like
make it
Dallas.
right.
Kind of like Dallas kept Dak Prescott. That was a great.
We're
140.
playing catch up on
what-
NIL, so
240.
we got to do something.
240 million.
What's funny is I'm not where you are.
Dumb.
I'm not where you are on and just hell bent on keeping Sam, and I'm not where you are on.
You're in
hell-bent
between. You're on the damn fence.
Because here's
you're
the
the
thing.
problem. You're the problem.
No, here's the thing: is we can still go 8-4, like I predicted at the very beginning, and we can still turn this season around and have be
the people
sit
sitting on the
here
fence.
in
No.
December with a whole different
Pick a
outlook
side.
of the season.
Pick a side. I pick
I'm
my
not there
side.
yet.
I'm there.
I'm not
there.
there yet.
It's the same old crap. Y'all watch.
I'm
Y'all
getting-
watch. We're gonna
I'm-
lose these next 2 games,
Josh is
and
up
we're
here.
gonna go in and barely beat
I'm
Mississippi
here,
State.
and you're here.
And y'all
Okay.
gonna be. He
Hey.
still has his job.
Okay,
No.
okay, but let me ask you
We're
this
not
one
gonna.
last
We're
quick
gonna smoke
question.
Mississippi State.
Last quick question, Buck. If we fired Pittman and we hired somebody, you probably couldn't even tell me who you would want to hire.
It doesn't matter. Take
And
a
I tell you,
chance.
it's not
Take a
going to be.
chance.
It's not going to be Bobby Petrino.
Take a chance.
Do you think we're going to just jump up in 1 year and be like, "Man, we're great now"?
No.
You don't
Take
think
a
we're going
chance
to have
though.
another rebuilding year or two
Take a
if we
chance.
fire Sam? I think we have a better
told-
chance keeping Sam and having a second year with Bobby Petrino on being successful
Caleb.
than firing Pittman, getting a new coach, and being like, "Okay, we're great now." He pulled a rabbit out of his hat. And now he pulled a magic trick.
I think Kalen, what's his name? DeBoer,
DeBauer.
the
DeBoer.
Alabama new coach.
Yeah.
Was kind of
There's not a Kalen DeBoer out there.
no, but he's Nixon in a way. Nixon, what you said about rebuilding here. He didn't have to. He's not,
He inherited the best program in college
I
football.
understand that.
Arkansas is not that.
I understand that, which is why we're never going to get.
I mean,
We're never going to get a team where we're going to have the same group
But where
of
did he
guys.
come from?
We're never
he
going to
come
have.
from Washington.
Again, What you're talking about?
It's
who
not a dream
Washington-
job.
Washington plays.
Sometimes
It doesn't,
a diamond.
it's not a dream job, is it?
It
No,
doesn't
but he
matter,
did
Buck.
great there.
Sometimes a diamond comes out of the rough and finds a bone. Sometimes a blind dog
That's what
finds
I'm
a bone
saying.
every now and
Take
then.
a
He had one
chance.
good year in
We
Washington.
ain't
Now he's
getting
the
there.
head coach at Alabama.
What's the ultimate goal? To be the best of the best. Are we even close to that? No, we're not. Fire Sam Pittman, take a chance on somebody, whether we're terrible or we're going to be great.
Well, let
At
me
least
tell
we're
you,
taking a
Who
chance.
I'm going for if we fire Sam Pittman is John Gruden.
No.
We're never going to get somebody like that. I
No.
hope
I
hope
would
we
love John
could,
Gruden.
but we're not.
And keep Bobby
We're
as the
not.
old coordinator.
We're not.
I want to go after
Bobby will not be the head coach. I'm telling you right now.
No, he won't. But
Not
if
a
we
year
did,
like
I'd,
this,
I'd
no.
go. Honestly, if we do fire Sam, we didn't get the Chad Morris hire right when we had to. I've said it time and time again. That's where we all went wrong.
I'd be for T. Will getting the head coach
I'd
job
be-
over Bobby. Right
No,
now.
we're gonna. Have to
I
go
was
get,
telling Caleb
we're gonna
before
have to go
this,
get
I
a
would be
Urban
fine.
Meyer. We're gonna have to go get an Urban
Urban
Meyer.
Meyer's done.
I would be fine with
I don't know.
either one of those two as our
We're gonna have to go
offensive
get a
or defensive coordinators
Urban
right
Meyer.
now to be the head coach. Either one of them would be better than Sam Pittman.
I'd like Gus Malzahn, maybe. I'd go for Gus
We're not.
Malzahn.
That,
If you
that-
UCF is having a better year,
the
and we're not going to do Dion
and
like
the-
you said, Buck.
What about
John Gurdon
what's
and,
his name from Arkansas State?
Butch
Blake
Jones?
Butch Jones?
no,
Blake
something-
Anderson?
Blake Anderson.
He's in
that
jail.
He's terrible.
he's in jail right now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No,
I
He's not
think
in jail.
he's not in jail.
he's got to some trouble or something. I don't know what
Yeah,
it was, but yeah. Trust me.
No.
Look
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah, look it up. Look
I
it
would
up.
have to.
I don't know what it is, but I heard that he,
I mean,
in
there
jail?
was some trouble with
Controversial
his
there.
team. Where did he go after Arkansas State?
I know his
I
wife
don't think
died
he's
from
coaching
like
anywhere.
cancer
Yeah,
or
his
something.
wife did pass away. Yeah.
He was coaching in like Nevada
he went
or
somewhere
something
and they
way
got
up
in
in the
trouble.
mountains.
They got in
They
some
got in
recruiting trouble. Yeah, I said
But he
jail.
had a
He's in
great
college
record.
football jail.
He had a great record though at Arkansas State and wherever
That
he went,
he's not the guy. If you want him to
Montana,
take over
Nevada, or
Pittman,
whatever.
you need to take another sip.
He got fired for interviewing potential victim after Aggies player's arrest. I don't know, but
He got what? What happened?
this
Was I
headline
right?
says Utah State says Blake Anderson fired for interviewing potential victim after Aggies player arrest. So
And he was the coach for
He
Okay,
was
I knew he
contact-
did something shady.
Okay,
Nevada,
yeah, he was Utah State.
Utah State.
Utah State. He was he was fired for contacting a potential domestic violence victim and witness to the incident after their football player was arrested and failing to properly report the case. So he just violated code of conduct.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I would not want Blake. That would be like freaking hiring Chad Morris again, dude. You're crazy.
Yeah. If you want him to take over Pittman,
We got to
I'm just saying
we
that,
gotta go
that
get
was
an
just
Urban-
a
an
spitball
Urban Meyer.
name. I'm not saying
something like
RM.
Albert. Malzahn's not
Anyway.
going to happen. They're not
Yeah.
going to hire Malzahn ever.
well, I mean, I personally, I'm just saying personally, I would
What
like
about
to see,
Jimbo Fisher?
No.
Mm-mm.
Y'all don't think he's better than Sam
No.
Pittman?
I'd rather him run my restaurant than run my football team.
Y'all don't think
I don't know.
Jimbo Fisher is a better resume than Sam Pittman?
Did Jimbo Fisher go to a bowl game last year?
Did he win a national championship?
Did he go to a bowl game?
Did he
last
win a
year?
national championship as a head
Where
coach?
at?
Florida State.
With whose recruits?
It doesn't matter.
Whose team did he inherit?
It doesn't matter. He was the head coach of a national
He
championship
inherited
team.
one of the best
And he
college
went-
football coaches ever.
I mean, it
He
would be
also
a
had
terrible-
top 10 years there.
It
Like
would
top
be a
10
terrible
teams.
hire.
It would be a terrible.
It would
hire,
be
but I
better.
I don't want him.
Be better than Sam Pittman.
At this point,
It would be an upgrade.
I like Sam Pittman more than Jimbo Fisher.
No way.
I think we'd have a better situation with
Yeah.
Sam staying on board with T. Will and Bobby.
Take a
Traynor and
chance.
Continue
That's where I'm
what we
going.
have. Continue what we have going down the tracks right now. Then jumping ship and going. Okay, let's find a new train for these tracks. Oh, and all the cabooses and all the carts to go along with the train.
Hey, hear me
To be
out.
great,
just-
you gotta
I
take
agree
a
with
chance.
stick
This
with
would
what we
never
got.
this would absolutely never happen. But you know who I wouldn't mind if we did fire Sam? Who I wouldn't mind seeing that running things up on the hill. Again, this would never happen. And I like him. And that's Sarkisian.
Yeah, but
What,
he's
for
not leaving
Texas?
Texas coach.
He's never
I-
leaving
that's why I
Texas.
said it would never
Well,
happen. But
that's-
I like him.
No,
Yeah.
come on.
I like him up there.
That's not even. You can't even think of that. I mean, that's never
That's why I
going to
said
happen.
it'll never happen, but it'd be cool. All right,
You know
let's
what? Maybe Mike Norvell, because Florida State's having such a bad year. Mike Norvell for Florida State played for UCA. He's got
They had a
Arkansas
great
ties.
year last
He's
year.
got family here in Arkansas, and he was really considered 2 years
Talk
ago.
about someone
He
losing
was a
team,
high profile coach that Florida State went and got from Memphis. I could see maybe Mike Norvell, after a year like he's having in Florida State, coming to Arkansas if we do fire Pittman and going, hey, I'm in the SEC. I get a second wind, second chance to prove myself as a head coach and go win with Arkansas. I kind of like a Mike Norvell hire too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that.
What's
they're
the Oklahoma State's
they're one
coach?
for
I know he just beat us.
Mike Gundy.
Yeah, they were talking like we could pay him enough and him come here. But
Mullet, Arkansas coach. Yeah,
that's
baby.
what I'm
We got
saying.
the brunette Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
It would be
The brunette
consistency,
Joe Dirt.
though. I mean,
Hey, speaking of,
I don't know if he would do so
oh,
well.
For the head hog.
Speaking of Oklahoma State, I know you kind of listened to Ragweed back in the day, Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Oh
but
yeah,
they're coming back together, and it's going to be them. I think LaRue, Turnpike. They're all going to be playing at Oklahoma State's stadium next April. I got to go to that game or that concert.
game.
That's going to be a bad ass concert.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Let's CCR.
yeah, let's wrap it up. Appreciate everybody out there. If we made it on Facebook, if we didn't, sorry. I don't know.
We'll figure it out maybe next week.
It says we're on there. It says that we're live on Facebook. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Don't know. But anyway, so thanks again. Hope we're all wrong about the game Saturday. Hope it's going to be a dub. But
Let's make sure there's the least amount of Rocky Tops on the hill
yeah,
this Saturday,
yeah,
and
for
there's
sure.
a lot of Woo Pig Sueys.
We don't want them to take over and hear Rocky Top blaring through Donald W. Reynolds.
No, let's just have a chance to win it in the fourth quarter.
Don't forget if you're going.
That's what I want. Chance to win it in the fourth quarter.
If you're going,
I'd like
check the strop out sections to wear red or white. We're doing a strop out.
But we'll share that on our Facebook
Yeah,
page.
I'm sitting in a red section, so
Wear red.
wear red and Woo Pig. So all right, thank you everybody. Go
Thank you,
Hogs.
guys. Go Hogs. Woo
Woo
Pig.
Pig.